So one final piece that I want to talk about is the difference between twin flame and soulmate relationships. Just this morning I went on YouTube and was kind of refreshing what like other people are saying about this, because it's been a long time since I dove into the internet looking for things about twin flame, because I've been in it and like exploring it myself. And I see a lot of people equating twin flame and soulmate connections with one another. And that's not been my experience. Super open to it being real. It is my understanding, though, that when we are moving toward, when at a certain point in our journey toward reunion with a soulmate, and ultimately everything is your soulmate. We all come from the same place. We're all the same. Everything is your soulmate. But because we live in 3D reality and we're having different experiences, and part of that experience is experiencing pain and then healing from the pain and healing, it's like learning who you are by moving away from who you are and then moving back to it. Just like that feeling of moving away from home and coming back and seeing it with new eyes. It's very similar to that. So because of that, twin flame and soulmates are both people who are on a similar point in the path where we can come together and offer things to one another because of the way that we're resonating. If you want to think about it as levels or even size or expansiveness, there's like some kind of matching there that brings you together. But you have the potential to be a soulmate with your dog or a tree or, a place where you go where you feel totally whole. Or even that the awareness of that thing existing brings you to a place of wholeness. And that is really at the center of both twin flame and soulmate relationships. And in my experience, soulmate relationship is not available unless twin flame work has been done. Twin flame work comes into your life when you have reached a point of like the penultimate place of reuniting with a soulmate and living in this place of truly blissful union, blissful, sustainable reunion. And the twin flame experience is the penultimate step, because it allows you really to bring up the pieces of yourself that you can't see without a reflection, because your brain protects you from seeing those pieces because seeing them is so difficult. And having a loving relationship with a twin flame, whether that's platonic love or romantic love or anything else, familial love, regardless of the type of love it is, having a loving relationship with your twin flame and a container for that experience is really important, because it's truly about being seen in the pieces of you that make you feel the most vulnerable because you're ashamed of them. My understanding of what a soulmate is my understanding of what a soulmate is the connection that you're capable of having once you have done that level of work, or once you've invited that level of healing in, which is, once you've invited that level of healing in, which ties back to what I was saying earlier about how there are those of us on this planet who are doing this work for others. What I mean by that is, like, I have been and am actively doing this work, this healing work for other people. If you don't have the capacity in your life, take a thread of the work that I've been doing. I've been doing it for you. And for me, but I've been doing it for both of us. So you can invite that healing into your life and don't have to go through this excruciating, drawn out process of therapy. And there can just be an invitation in to a new awareness, because there are people who are stepping into a level of work that is outside of capitalism, and trying to create the new world, and we're doing it for the collective. And we know that you have gifts too, and you have things to bring, and first you need us to do our part. And we're doing it because we're part of the same team and we have the same objective. So a soulmate connection is someone that you meet when you've done that work, where you come together and that shadowy bit is gone. Not because it's been eradicated, but because it's been integrated, because you have come to a point of being aware that you're not only capable of unconditional love, you're also capable of the opposite of unconditional love. And when you're able to stand in the middle of those things and stand in a place of unity, that is the revolution. That is the revolution that we're living inside of right now. That is our alternative to bloody revolution, which will only bring more blood. A revolution into love, a revolution, and that love is about extending love to the pieces of us that we don't love, and allowing another to extend love to those pieces and teach us how to love them. Twin flame and soul relationships are both very much about bringing balance. And yeah, they're very much about bringing balance. And twin flame relationships can feel very, very powerful and extreme. And that movement, that titration between extreme happiness and extremely painful is, again, about an invitation to stretch out our awareness as expansively as we can and include all extremes of our experience in our awareness of who we are. That's what allows us to live in a balanced way and reclaim pieces that have moved to the subconscious because we didn't have support in addressing them. I think that's all I have to say for now. Yeah, I'll be making future videos, and I'd really like to hear about specific questions that you have or things that you'd like to be addressed. I am an empathic clairsentient, or I have been honing my skill at empathic clairsentience, which I believe is a skill that we all have. But that's something that's emerged from my twin flame relationships, and evolved from the psychic opening that I had and other relationships and connections with a soulmate. So when I speak about things that are happening culturally, these aren't things that I know from watching the news or from reading other people's things so much, or it's not that. The way that I access that information is I step my awareness into the spaces in between things. I ask, what direction are we moving in? And I step into the awareness of the answer of that question, and then I feel it in my body as I would feel my own emotions, because they are my own emotions, because we're all the same thing. So it's really about, like, if I'm wondering how my elbow feels, I can move my awareness to my elbow and I can feel into my elbow and see if there's any pain there, or see if it's working well and what it has to say. And then I can move my awareness elsewhere in my body. And that's the same thing that I do with anything else. So that's where that information is coming from. And I say that so you know, while I am speaking from a place of my own experience, I don't say these things from a place of believing myself to be an authority. I don't. I understand that I have a personal connection that I believe is a birthright of each and every one of us. And while that we are awakening to that birthright and doing the healing that we need to in order to step into relationship with it, I feel it's important to speak from that place, because we need models of what it is to speak from that place. And I also really, really want to hammer home the point that I'm not different from you for being able to do this. You have this ability. And we're moving into a place and time and a shift dimensionally where learning even to open to the possibility that you have psychic gifts and abilities to communicate, connect, create that you're not aware of is really important. Because we need you. We need everybody. So I think that's actually all I have to say. I will see you next time.